Hi there, James again from Auto Pricer. So this is the settings video that I'd like to talk you through to get you going. So the first window here is a currency rate. So you can obviously set the currency rates as you wish. Obviously GBP is one, EUR is whatever rate you want to put in there. So you can put your rates, currency name, click save, and it changes it for you. Like I said in the last video, we are looking at having this either updated from an external source or updated from Limbworks, whichever people prefer to do, but we're looking at having these updated more automatically if you prefer. We're going to have an option where you can have it automated, have it fixed, or have a percentage variance if you want to have you want it fixed, but you wanted a variance in there as well. You can have that. So we'll more on that when we've developed it. So the currencies have to be the same as the currencies set in Limbworks if you've got Limbworks option ticked as well. The zones will be available via download at the bottom of this video to help you import them, because this is just all the current countries that land in these zones. You don't have to have UK offshore, but it's just whatever countries you sell to. You're better off putting them in these zones. This is more related to the shipping settings, which we'll come into in a minute. It helps you work out your shipping settings, and also it helps out in your profit reporting as well, for your profit report. So these settings actually perform two roles: one for your inventory, working out your min and max selling prices, and it works in conjunction with the profit report when it pulls through your processed orders from Limbworks as well. So it performs two functions. You can import and export any of these data. So you've got a lot of currencies, you can import them, import your zone, your companies, postal services. You can import all the settings, and likewise you can export them as well. You just tick on the one you want to export. If you want to export all of your marketplace data, you can click on that and export it, and it'll export the file straight away for you, manipulate it and import it back in quickly, depending on how you want to do it. So company, you can have as many companies as you want. This is more relating to the min and max price on your inventory screen, but we'll come into that as we go along. But again, it's more related to your sub-sources that you've got set up in Limbworks as well. You can add a new one by clicking here, add your company name, click save, and it'll show up as a new company. Then you can apply that to any specific product in your inventory, or to marketplace, or your marketplace. So the next window is obviously marketplace data. So to add a new marketplace from scratch, click the add button, add your marketplace. You can call it, as you can see, we've just called that eBay UK, Amazon UK, and so on. You can call that what you want just for your reference. The currency that marketplace operates in, the zone which it relates to, which you've got set up in the window above. Your source has got to be the exact same source as what comes from Limbworks, so it works out in your profit reporting and in your inventory view as well. Company, like I said, is whatever company you want to add this channel for, this marketplace for. The fee relative to the category you're selling on that channel. Any minimum final value fee. So if you're selling on Amazon.com, there's obviously a $1 minimum final value fee, so you're banging one in there. Any payment provider fees, provider costs and transaction fees. So if it's that's the payment provider, say it's PayPal. You've got eBay, you put PayPal there, provider cost as a percentage is whatever your percentage is, from 1.4 up to 2.9, I think it is, and 30p. And your sub-source again has to be the same sub-source. Whatever you've got in Limbworks has to be the same there, so it works it out. The profit reporting tool looks at the sub-sources that you've got in there and your sources that you've got in here, so it works it out and pulls in your fees, what you've got in here, based on the sub-source and source that's in Limbworks. So yeah, when you've entered all that data, it looks something like this. This is all fictitious data, obviously. It's just what we've banged in to make it look like a used system. So obviously company eBay are on 30.4, 30p. That's your marketplace fee. Sorry, for eBay UK. For this company 2, it's eBay 5, subsourcing Limworks, and the percentage fee that's on the monthly invoice is normally about 11%. So that's what's calculated on the profit report, 11%. And for this company, we've set up 3 companies in here, and this company's monthly invoices floats about 11.7%. So that's your normal eBay fees that get applied to your sales. And likewise, 1.4% PayPal fee and 30p transaction fee. No minimum final value fees apply to eBay for this test account. If you want to edit any of those, you can select a certain one, click the edit button, and then you can edit it as you see here. Likewise, for an Amazon account, again, flat 15% fee for whatever category you're selling, whatever your fee is, you bang that in there. Obviously, Amazon, there's no provider transaction fee related to it. No minimum final value fee for Amazon UK. If you wanted to edit that, click on it, click edit. You can edit whatever you like in there. Amazon US, a good one to show you. This is where you've got $1 minimum final value fee, so that applies on your profit report. So if the 15% isn't above $1 after they've took their fees, it'll upgrade it to $1 for you. So your profit reporting on any transactions to the US is correct, and so on. It's adding your marketplaces as you need to. Packaging is obviously your packaging costs. You add a new one, whatever your packaging name is and your packaging cost, you pop it in there, and then that's got to be the same. It's worth mentioning your packaging name has got to be the same as what you refer to it in Limworks as well. So when it comes through to your profit report, it applies the correct packaging cost for that transaction. Static, or you can search if you've got a long list, like in here we've imported a long list. So if you're searching, I don't know, box, you type in box there and it should populate your packagings that have got the word box in. Clear that, it goes back to normal. Or you can cycle through the pages. It shows 1 to 10 on each page. You can cycle through and edit as you need to go. Static values, we put that in there because some businesses might want to have static values relative to each order. So we've just popped in here pick rate and pack rate. So if you wanted to allocate a 20p pick rate and a 50p pack rate per order, this will be applied per transaction on the profit report. And for your inventory as well, for a sale of a singular product. And now your postal services. This is quite an in-depth thing to set up, but it is fairly simple. So for this RM48, you can edit that. If you need to edit the title, again, these postal service names need to be the same as what's in Limworks. Otherwise, when it comes through to the profit report, it won't talk correctly, won't apply the correct postage cost. So in these postal services here, you click down to see what costs are relative to. So in this zone here, it shows you where the zones are set up. So to all UK transactions, it applies the cost that you've put in there, $2.19 and a 4% surcharge. If you want to edit that in there, and as you see, we've got a default composite cost of $2.19 and 4% surcharge. If it was a straight cost, there's no surcharge applicable to it. Say it was just £5, for example, for that package, you could just put £5 in there as a cost, click save, and it would just show you £5 as a static cost for that service. And let's just change it to 5 there, but we'll change that back to $2.19. 4% surcharge, cost is 0. Save. And in your inventory view, all products that have got this RM48, got this package assigned to it as a default service, if you change that 4% to 6%, or if you change that to £2.50, your prices go up. all of your calculated selling prices in your inventory will reflect the new changes here as well. So if one change in here changes all of your selling prices that's calculated in inventory. Again, we'll do another inventory talk through or inventory video to explain this and show you further examples of how changing these affects your selling prices as well on your inventory. So Europe here, obviously, if you've got an RM48 set as your default service on Linkworks, and you get a European sale for that service, obviously it'll go as an IE1 or whatever your equivalent is. It will apply a 1.54, £1.54 per package cost, 0.4 pence per gram cost, and 3% surcharge. I believe that's going up if it's Royal Mail. On the 15th of November, it's gone up to 6.5, so that will change, and all of the selling prices in inventory will be calculated to reflect that as well, which is good. So it would be just a case of exporting and importing your new calculated price into Linkworks or your repricer. But again, we'll go into that and I'll show you a bit further. So this is an IE1 cost, as it were, if looking at the inventory, but we have got IE1 costs in on its own separate value for profit reporting as well. So just to show you that, so that's clicking through just to show you the IE1 costing. So IE1 will be the same as what you've just seen in there. So IE1, here you can see for Europe it's £1.54.004 pence per gram, 3% surcharge. So that will be if you, for profit reporting purposes, so every postal service you've got in Linkworks needs to be set up in here so it knows where your costings lie when you get a transaction for this particular postage format. But I've got the IE1 costs in the RM48 service as well. So as you can see, for Europe and for the rest of the world, that's the IE1 cost, because when you've got this cost applicable to when you've got the RM48 as your default postal service in one of your inventory items, to work out a different channel price, we need to have it applicable because it looks at your RM48 cost and applies the European version of your RM48, and in this case it's the IE1. That price is in there. So just to show you that further, we're going to the inventory. So here, I've not got any, we'll just assign it to this. So edit that product. I'll change this one, make it a bit easier. So if this was an RM48, click save. So here, with this being the default postal service within Linkworks, it calculates your UK prices based on obviously that UK zone postal service, but as soon as you go across to a different zone, it applies the rate, the international rate for that zone, Europe, the international rate that you've got set up in the background of that service, like I just showed you, for that zone. So it's applied the IE1 postal service to that. So going back to settings, we'll dive into that a bit further as we go through the inventory video. It'll hopefully make a bit more sense to you. Add a new service, BPD, one, zone, UK, cost is £0, £5, £3, click save. So you've got a new DPD service in there, let's search for that. So your new DPD service that's there, edit that. Oh, not that, you drop it down. Click edit. And you can see in here you've got, this is your default composite cost. It's £5 for a package up to, say, 1 kilo and 3% surcharge. If you wanted to add the next level of that, grams, and it's, say, for 1,000 grams plus, you add that in there. So you can see weight cost for 1,000 grams plus would be, say, £6.50 and 3%. So this default composite cost would be up to 999 grams, and this one is 1,000 grams plus. So you click save. Back into it, and then you've got the 2 in there. And if you had another one, which was the next level to between from, I don't know, 5 kilo, you can add that. What was that one? 650. We'll put 750 in here for the next one. 3% surcharge. Click save, and it'll put that in there with the next weight for you. So edit that, and for this works when it comes through to the profit report. So on a transaction, if you've got quite a lot of DPD services that are used on different transactions, it looks at the weight. So if you've got obviously a weight, a parcel, a transaction that's gone through and it's above 1,000 grams, it will obviously allocate this cost. But if it's above 5,000 grams, it'll allocate this cost on your profit report. We'll dive into profit report and we'll show you further, but you've got to have them in order of weight as well. So you've got to, you can see how you can drag these up and down. The heaviest one always has to be at the top, and so in priority order. So it will give, when it lands on the profit reports, it will allocate it in that sense. So I'll look at it as in, that's up to 999 grams, that's up to £6.50, and that's up to £7.50. So you can see that that's up to 999, that's 1,000 plus, and that's 5,000 plus. And that's how it allocates it on the profit report. Click save. So as well as for weight, you can differentiate for size, as in height, for specific reasons. So as an example, we've got a large letter with different height rules in it. The reason why we've got different height rules in a large letter is because obviously in the UK a large letter is up to 25mm, but internationally a large letter is up to 20mm. So for our inventory prices to be worked out for an item that is a large letter in the UK, obviously you need to apply a parcel price to your inventory that is a large letter UK, but it's going internationally. It's all of a sudden it's above 20mm. It's a parcel, so you need to be able to quantify for that as well. So we do that by a height measurement. So as an example here, for Europe or rest of world, if we edit that view, so you can see here we've got a default composite cost. So if the product that we have a price for is a true large letter, it's under 20mm internationally, or for this zone for Europe, this would apply because that's the large letter rate for an IG1 or whatever equivalent you have. In this example, we've entered the details for an IG1, which is an international large letter price. So it's 0.00415 pence per gram cost. It's 88 pence package cost and 3% surcharge. I do believe again that's going up on the 15th of November to 6.5% from 3%, but if you bang that into 6.5%, it'll change obviously selling price in the inventory as well to reflect that across all SKUs that fall into that postal service. So that would be for up to 20 grams, and then above 21 grams we've applied the international parcel price, IE1, so it's 0.004 pence per gram, £1.54 per package, and a 3% surcharge. So to show you that in the workings, I mean that is literally added is it centimeters? That needs to be changed to millimeters, obviously, because that's a bit of a mistake. So it's a small change for us to make in the settings for that anyway. So we'll change that in the background. So that should soon change to millimeters instead of centimeters, and grams is for your weight. So the way we added this was in here like this. So you just type in a new, if it's above 25 mil, you add that and you get in a window like this. So it's fairly straightforward of how to add that. So to show you that working from an inventory point of view for a large letter product, so for a large letter product again, got this one here. I'll have a look at that to show you that rule working. So height is currently set at 20. So internationally it would be a large letter. So as you can see down here, for 10% margin in France it's 13.97, 24.07, 11.29 in the UK, 19.35 is your maximum. So if you change that to 21, it should change that to include for not the default UK postal service you got allocated on Limworks. It should change it to allocate, because you've gone above, because of the rule inside the postal service for the height of 21 plus, it should allocate the new price you've got in there for 21 plus height. So you change that to 21, and it should change your internet, your Europe zone marketplaces from 1387, 1397 to 1518, 1507, and you can see that still stayed the same because that would go out as a normal large letter service. So that's simply how that works in the settings for differences in size for the postal services. Yeah, so that concludes our settings video. If you'd like to get in touch with me to do a screen share, if you'd like to know anything else, contact us on the Facebook group, or you can drop us an email on support@auto-pricer.net. Like I said, I'll include these zones so you can import them. All these marketplace data, all the packaging, all of these as well in the link of this video, in the comment section of this video, so you can see where you can download them and import them into your settings and adjust them a bit easier than it would be setting it up from scratch. So okay, thank you, bye bye.